Hey, what's going on, you guys? Hey, welcome back to another episode with iTrack. Hey, big shout out to all the iTrack fam in the building. Per usual, I got a handful of interesting and creepy TikToks for us to go ahead and evaluate for ourselves whether these are fact or fake. It's a whole lot of craziness going on in the world today, and we're gonna tap in to see what's really fake and what might not be. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. But before we do that, smash that like button for me, smash that subscribe button, and join the iTrack fam. Stay up to date with the creepiest and most interesting videos on the net. Now let's just jump right into it.
I don't think it's going to be much longer before you see most of the answers. We're going to be seeing massive objects 300 and 500 feet across, slowly flying across the skies, and they're going to be flying in daylight, and you're going to be seeing them. And then right after, your government is going to say, we have some information to share with you. And they're going to tell you a little bit about why they lied to you for so much, for so long, and how they tried to protect you because they determined that you were not able or ready to deal with this information. Well, I disagree with that. We're not sheep. We have a right to know these things. We have a need to know. Because the things that are going to be happening, that are going to change your life and change your world in a way that you will never imagine, are going to be happening soon. We may be being visited by thousands of people out there.
Look! I don't think that's it. That sounds like from over there.
That's the noise.
You need to get the boys! What the heck? Look at it, boy. Look at it.
Now, that first clip had to have been aged. I don't know exactly how far back it was, but obviously it is not a new clip. And a lot of the things he said are actualizing themselves now. That's why you had to see it in the sequence that you did. But go ahead and continue watching the video. There's plenty more of that.
Let's take a look at the aftermath of the Pacific Palisade fires here in LA, and let's ask the question, guys. What kind of energy does it take to pulverize these concrete and steel buildings, pulverize them to the ground, yet leave these trees all intact? You would think, that the trees should be also burnt to the ground with, force like this, directed energy force like this is kind of what I'm thinking and saying. I'm not saying it, but thinking it, you know what I mean? Looking eerily similar to the wildfires that happened in Maui. And what's also interesting is the water was shut off in LA. That's what everyone's saying. The water was shut off, just like Maui was. Now, is that just a coincidence, guys? Is that just a coincidence? Or is something else happening here? Something else happening? Let us know what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure to like, share, and follow for more. Peace and love.
All I'm saying is let's just make it make sense. That's literally all I'm saying. Let's just make it make sense.
Hey, did you hear the news? California's getting Maui'd. And someone's gonna have to call up Waluigi, cause, yeah. I mean, y'all tell me, is this sus or no? Is it sus that State Farm just months ago canceled all of their fire insurance for homes in the Palisades, exactly where these fires are taking place? The move was justified by the company as an attempt to avoid financial failure. Well, that's cute. What the were all of us paying premiums to you for then, I wonder? Like, how is it legal for these? Anyways, let's just move on. On top of that, you have LA Mayor Karen Bass cutting fire department funding by $23 million this year, just recently. You have firefighters reporting that they're running out of water in the fire hydrants, okay? You've got cars trapping people trapped in homes, firefighters not responding to certain areas. I mean, what the fuck is going on? The sad thing is, I think we all know what's going on.
I saw the government from all over the world start to use drones all over the place. They're all at a certain level, all above just buzzing around. He said, you're going to start to hear a lot about aliens on TV. You're going to start to see more what they want to call UFO encounter lights and things in the sky is what he's warning me about. He said there will actually be a great deception. Las Vegas, Father. I just seen a glimpse of Vegas. Oh, are these all on the same day? I pray over Las Vegas, Lord. Oh, it is. I just seen a glimpse of New Orleans, Bourbon Street. It is an attack simultaneously when people are distracted. But I would say New Orleans is darkest, but there's just one man. It's a masked plan. It's a mass plans. There's more than just these two, the Lord says. There's more than just these two. He's given me a glimpse into these two, though.
Now, these type of clips you just might want to marinate on. You know what I'm saying? There's no way to kind of make this kind of stuff up. You know, marinate on it and, move accordingly.
So they showed them a photo of an alien grey. And this shaman just went, that's Makanwabu. These guys who were doing a podcast got these Amazonian shamans on, and they were like, tribesmen from the Amazonian basin, living out in the jungle, drinking the ayahuasca, very much in communion with nature, no connection to modern society. And they asked, before they got the photo out, they asked them, like, do you know what an alien is? Like, what do you think about aliens? And they were like, no idea what that means. They haven't got a term for it in their language. So they showed them a photo of an alien grey, and this shaman just went, that's Makanwabu. And they had a whole story about Makanwabu, this human that became an ant that lives underground and it can take your soul, and you need to be a good shaman to bring that soul back. But the fact that they had this complex mythology around something, they didn't know the term alien. The moment they saw the archetypical grey, they were like, that is Makanwabu, that's something we have.
I'll be the first to say it. These LA fires are not natural fires. They're being intentionally done just like Hawaii. I spent tons and tons of hours there today. I filmed all of it. I'm going to show you right now. These fires are created intentionally, and it is not a coincidence that it's at the same time as some random windstorm in LA.
I spent hours riding around the fires looking at everything. Here's some random clips throughout the night. You can see all the houses on fire, buildings on fire, trees on fire. A lot of chaos, a lot of damage. Now this is the clip to really watch. You can see that whole house in the back is on fire, and this car parked in front of it has been completely melted into the ground, burnt to a crisp. But something interesting is the tree that hangs directly above it doesn't seem to be affected at all. Still has all those green leaves on it, nothing burnt, completely intact. Even the grass fully surrounding this car has no singe marks, it's green grass, untouched. Even that expensive, nice landscaping in the background seems to be untouched. That tree is immediately above this car. How can those leaves not have been affected by flames big enough and strong enough to burn that car down? If the flames are big enough to burn the car, they're clearly big enough to touch that tree. Yet those leaves seem perfectly intact. It seems more like it was a targeted strike of sorts, just like in Hawaii, not a natural disaster. Call me a conspiracy theorist, but you decide for yourself.
The wildest thing is I do have the Maui clips too. I have all of that. So I look at them, compare them side to side. And as you look at the cars being melted down and things like that, it's kind of like, how does something like that happen? If you know something that I don't, definitely let me know in the comments, because we all would like to know. I'm sure there's more than just me who would like to know.
Flown drones for years. He is a professional at what he does. So here's Lane. He's standing in the field. There's his suitcase. And as you can see from the photograph, this is the drone photo, there's nothing around him. There's nothing anywhere around him. It's just a very flat field. This is what the drone took from a photograph. When we render the data, here's the data, and we go into the 3D view. It's a little tricky to see, but Lane is standing out here, and I will turn off the extra scans of over here. Let me turn off, I'll go to the 3D view. Here's the scan I want. So this is the same set of data right here. This is Lane. If you can see, this is the same picture of Lane right there. You see his head. I'll back up a little bit so it's a little easier to see. Yeah. There's Lane, but standing 8 feet away from Lane, when you turn it, 8 feet away from him is something 8 feet tall, 4 foot wide. It's colorized with different colors on the side, one color in the middle right there. But again, Here's my buddy Lane, and if we go back to the photograph, there he is, open field and case.
Now, where is it in the color?
Louisiana.
No. Where would it be? All right, so show me.
This whole entity right here was not in.
Where is he?
This is Lane right.
Okay,
here.
and which way is he facing?
If you see, he is facing straight east.
Straight east. Now show me where that. Show me where that being is when you show me the regular picture.
It's to his left.
It's straight to his left, directly to his left, 8 feet.
Wait, what is it?
That's what he doesn't know.
That's what he doesn't know.
We're wondering if it's an angel because it's an infrared.
There's no tree, there's nothing else, but there it is. It's 4 foot wide and about 8 foot tall, 8 feet away from him. And again, if you go back to the picture, there he is.
Now,
right
where
here.
is the being in that picture? Where would he be standing?
It doesn't exist.
I know, but it would be where?
It would be right here.
Can you go fly?
This is the view from the sky as Los Angeles is burning in the largest wildfire in American history. The Palisades fire is miles away from downtown LA, and fire hydrants are out of water and fire stations are going up in flames. The LA fire chief has announced that the fire has 0% containment, and that a major water center to supply fire hydrants has malfunctioned and will be offline for months. The fire is miles away from downtown LA, and multiple celebrities have already shown pictures of their lost homes, as hundreds of thousands of people are being asked to evacuate in the biggest evacuation of the West Coast ever, and over 500 people are missing, with many of them presumed to be gone. The fire, which started in the Palisades Fortress, has already burned down the world-famous Palisade Mall, and very ominous police scanners are saying things like, we're going to lose Fire Station 11, because as of right now, what makes it the most scariest is 0% containment, meaning they cannot control the fire, put any of it out, or even control where it goes, and as of now, it is on track to hit downtown Los Angeles in 3 days, which if you're wondering if they can stop in a time, it typically takes multiple weeks just to contain 5% of it. Downtown LA is expected to have evacuation orders as early as tomorrow morning.
I know I'm not supposed to be here, but this is my parents' home.
I know the feeling.
And they just they got canceled from their fire insurance. So they're dealing with this. They're 90 years old. And through the state of California, because of this, they're 90 years old. That they've lived in this house for 75 years, and they've had the same insurance, and these insurance people decided to cancel their fire, and we're going through this, and it just happened, and they have no fire insurance. So
do we even got I believe there's some explanation for this universe, which you might call God.
Lies, Chico. They never lie.
Elon's a fraud, in my opinion. Elon might possibly be one of the best con men in world history.
He's evil embodied. And I can say that with confidence. Elon Musk is inventing chips that go in people's brains. And I'm telling you, that is the behavior to look for when you're talking about the Antichrist. There's going to be a mark in everybody's head.
And really what's happening here is, and what I fear with many people, is once you have access to the kind of wealth that Elon Musk has, once you become the richest man in the world, you never really have to listen to anybody tell you no.
People think I'm an alien. It seems like he wants to communicate with aliens and touch.
What do you mean he wants to? What makes you think he doesn't already?
Give me a take. Do you see robots like running our household?
Oh, absolutely. They already are. They're just not physically present. The question is when they decide to replace troops, human troops, with robots.
Oh, man.
The nations of the world are in a race. There is a race between China, the United States, Google, IBM, Russia, to see who can get the first quantum computer that could crack any known secret code.
How do you crack a code?
You crack a code by factoring numbers. Given a number that's 100 digits long, factorize it as a product of 2 integers. That takes several thousand years.
Of a computer that we have today?
Right. Okay. A quantum computer will do it like that. A country that attains a workable quantum computer can break into all the intelligence agencies of the world. Cyber medicine. We're talking about curing cancer. Quantum computers can solve the problem of food, creating fertilizer, creating new drugs, new therapies, because that's how Mother Nature does it. Mother Nature does not do it by petri dishes. Mother Nature does it quantum mechanically.
Breaking news. Greenland is calling for independence from Denmark after Trump made repeated offers to buy the island. This comes after the Prime Minister of Greenland said in a New Year's speech that it is now time to take the next steps for our country and that Greenland needs to remove its shackles of colonialism under Denmark, referring to the island's status as a Danish colony until 1979 when it became self-ruling and was allowed to have its own parliament. However, Greenland is still officially owned by Denmark, and most people on the island were fine with that until Trump came into the equation and made multiple offers to buy Greenland. Those offers were rejected by Denmark, but this seems to have spurred a desire for independence among Greenland's politicians, with one saying that the country needs to shape its own future in regards to who they will cooperate with. It is possible for Greenland to become independent because a 2009 agreement with Denmark declared that the island can secure its own independence if a successful referendum is held.
If it hasn't been apparent to you already, Trump is a businessman. Not only that, he plays chess. So there is a specific reason why he wants to buy Greenland. It's not just by chance. You know what I'm saying?
This is some of the craziest tech showed off at CES so far. Starting with Yang Wang's jumping supercar. No idea when you're going to use this feature, but they drove it on autopilot at 120 miles per hour and made it jump over obstacles as long as 6 meters. South Korean researchers made a robot suit that can autonomously attach itself to someone seated in a wheelchair and allows them to stand up and even walk. Portal Graph showed off a 3D projector that projects VR space into the real world. Honda revealed their futuristic prototypes from its upcoming Zero Series EV lineup. This $700 keyboard is supposed to help you transition from typing to trackpadding just by lifting your hands. Roborock introduced a vacuum that also has a foldable arm to pick up small items like socks, tissues, and shoes. This box gives your phone 100% charge within seconds by quickly swapping out the battery pack in your phone case and replacing it for a fully charged one so you never have to plug in your phone again. It's a water bottle that comes with its own CO2 canister, allowing you to carbonate any drink on the go. These Halliday glasses have a 3.5-inch virtual screen embedded in the top right, and its built-in AI assistant can give you real-time translation in over 40 languages, live subtitles in conversations, you can get instant product reviews while shopping, and even ask questions to your AI that gives you the answers that only you can see. Delta announced that they're putting 4K screens in their planes. We've got color-changing glasses with the tap of a finger, and Samsung made stretchy screens, which Lenovo then put into a rollable extending laptop screen. What is even happening this year? Donald Trump is now reportedly working on a deal to buy Greenland. Yeah, purchase a country. And what's crazier is that America has actually tried to buy Greenland before. I mean, at the start, we all thought that Trump was joking, but now he is sending his son along with other various representatives to travel there today. Trump even posted last night saying, Greenland is an incredible place and the people will benefit tremendously if and when it becomes part of our nation. Bro said when. Now, while Greenland has its own government, it still remains under the Kingdom of Denmark. And in 1946, the US offered Denmark $100 million for the resource-rich island, but were swiftly rejected. And I think it's also important to note that Greenland cannot simply be purchased like real estate. Its population, although only 56,000, have the right to self-determination under international law, meaning they must consent to any major changes. But if enough people in Greenland want to be purchased by the US, who knows? Maybe a 51st state is possible. So the question is, do you think that America should buy Greenland or stay away?
China's navy is astronomically bigger than what we have now at this point. A new aircraft carrier every year. We can't do that.
The Pentagon, in the past X number of years, 10, 12, 15, all of its war games against China, we lose every time inside the Pentagon war games. China's building an army specifically dedicated to defeating the United States of America. That is their strategic outset. Take hypersonic missiles. Our whole power projection platform is aircraft carriers and the ability to project power that way strategically around the globe. And yeah, we have a nuclear triad and all of that, but a big part of it. And if, 15 hypersonic missiles can take out our 10 aircraft carriers in the first 20 minutes of a conflict, what does that look like?
I have discussed with Trump the idea of a government efficiency commission.
Nice.
I would be willing to be part of that commission.
I wonder how hard that is.
The antibody reaction would be very strong.
Yes. Yeah.
So you're attacking the Matrix at that point. The Matrix will fight back.
Chinese have gone crazy. Their supercar can now jump over obstacles on the road without a driver. When BYD unveiled its 4-motor, 1,287 horsepower U9, it literally shocked the world. The Yangwang U9 can drive on 3 wheels, perform a tank turn, jump over 1.5 inches into the air, and even dance. All thanks to its insane Disys X suspension system. But BYD didn't stop there. They released a video showing the U9 overcoming obstacles with its suspension. The car accelerates sharply from a standstill to 75 miles per hour, then effortlessly jumps over an 8-foot flooded pit on the road, covering a total jump distance of 20 feet. Next, the U9 effortlessly jumps over a 13-foot stretch of metal spikes designed to shred tires, with each spike standing 1.4 inches tall, just like the ones James Bond used to deploy from his car. Finally, a similarly sized obstacle in the shape of a painted rainbow on the road is also cleared in a single leap. And all of this happens without a driver behind the wheel, relying solely on its autonomous technology. It's both astonishing and completely pointless.
I don't know why, but I just feel like it's a lot cooler to have a supercar do things like that, right? If I'm going to pay a lot of money, and I don't even think that's a very expensive car, but if I'm going to have a supercar, I wouldn't mind it being able to jump and do all the features that was listed. I mean, sounds pretty cool to me. Let me know what you think.
Breaking news. After President Donald Trump calls to annex Greenland, Panama Canal, and Canada, celebrity Kevin O'Leary sparks backlash, but you won't believe why.
There's 41 million Canadians, basically the population of California, sitting on the world's largest amounts of all resources, including the most important, energy and water. Canadians, over the holidays, the last 2 days, have been talking about this. They want to hear more. And so, there's obviously a lot of issues, more details, but what this could be is the beginning of an economic union. Think about the power of combining the two economies, erasing the border between Canada and the United States, and putting all that resource up to the northern borders where China and Russia are knocking on the door. So secure that, give a common currency, figure out taxes across the board, get everything trading both ways, create a new, almost EU-like passport. I like this idea, and at least half of Canadians are interested. The problem is the government's collapsing in Canada right now. Nobody wants Trudeau to negotiate this deal. I don't want him doing it for me, so I'm going to go to Mar-a-Lago. I'll start the narrative. The 41 million Canadians, I think...
Join me on Discord to talk about it.
Breaking news for you now.
You ever heard of world dominance? Well, you ever heard of an alignment and a deal that's so big that would take over the entire world? Well, if you're hearing what's happening today as far as Donald Trump trying to buy Greenland, and you've seen Justin Trudeau resign the other day, if this actually takes place where the United States takes control of Greenland and Canada, it will make the United States the most powerful force to be reckoned with when it comes to trade. And I'll say it again. Have you ever heard of world dominance? Well, if Mr. Trump, President Trump, is able to pull this off, the art of the deal, this country will be on a level that you have never, ever seen it before. All that BRICS nations and all them aligning with that currency, it will be out the window if that takes place. World dominance by the United States. I'm out.
And it seems like he understands the same thing that I understand. This is 4D chess. This is like beyond just the regular span of thinking. Trump is really trying to play to win. Big time.
Mathematics. Yeah. By the way, this isn't even my chain. I stole it from somebody. Yeah, I tell y'all who got off camera. Uh-oh.
Stealing chains now?
Not really stealing. Does it mean anything to you, though? Yeah, a little bit.
Called "Do What Thou Shalt Wilt." Now, many people will look at that and think, "Oh, yeah, that's a cool quote." But if you're not educated enough, you would not know where he got that quote from. And he got that quote from a guy called Aleister Crowley. Aleister Crowley was a renowned Satanist, right? Anyone knows about Aleister Crowley? The Beatles used him in their album. He was an Englishman in the 1940s who was a mad Satanist.
So why is Jay-Z using this?
I'll give you some things that Aleister Crowley used to do, yeah? He rented out a place in Italy, yeah, to do these satanic rituals, and they would do like mad rituals where they would have like group sex with like sheep. Then he went to Egypt and he claimed that he was being contacted by Isis, the pharaoh god. He also
so he was a madman.
He was a madman, but he claimed to be divinely inspired by Satan. And that quote,
how did he die?
He died a natural death here in Britain in a care home, and he's probably burning in a...
About the giants of South America and stuff. This boy, his name was Diego Duran. He was 7 years old and he moved with his family from Spain to Mexico, and he lived amongst the Aztecs. And they taught him the Aztec language and they taught him how to read the hieroglyphics. And so he spent 30 years reading and hearing all these stories. The Aztecs talked about, before the Aztecs were there, giants roamed the land. And these giants, they said, were created by a god. These giants, they opposed another god.
Oh my gosh.
And so this god tried to kill all the giants. One of the first times that he tried to kill them was by sending fire from the sky.
Wow.
But a few giants survived. And then they say that this god ended up flooding the whole earth to kill these giants. And so when he flooded the whole earth, there was one giant, he survived with his siblings. What they did right after that flood was they're like, we're going to build a giant pyramid so if it ever floods again, we can escape it. And so this pyramid that they built was called the Great Pyramid of Cholula. That pyramid is actually the largest pyramid on Earth.
Guys, excuse me. Do you see this? This is the beach off of New Jersey. If you go on Google and type in New Jersey beach camera live, you'll get a number of these cameras. Guys, you can watch these things live and it's crazy. This is just a screenshot that I took real quick. These are the drones off of the shore. There are, like, at any given time, like 20 that you can see, and you see some weird stuff, okay? So go check this out real quick. Go online, type in New Jersey beach cam live and see all of these. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Also, the one, people keep seeing it. They say it's a portal. It's a lens flare. It's from the camera. But there's other crazy stuff going on. Okay, go check it out.
So I just got to Aruba and I just took a picture of this. It's a moon and a star. Well, it didn't turn out that way.
Let's go through a list of celebrities' houses that burnt down in LA. I found some very, very interesting things as well. Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks' son comes out and says the fire burned the family's neighborhood to the ground. But, you remember when Tom Hanks and Rita left the United States? Check this out. The Hollywood stars were granted honorary citizenship for helping the victims of a wildfire in Greece. You might want to go back and listen to that again. The end of this video is going to be crazy. Now, Steven Spielberg. Of course, he's with Tom Hanks. Would you believe it? He had a mansion in the same place? Pretty crazy how they're all in the same exact area. And by the way, a brand new fire just started on the Hollywood Hills, right off the Solar Drive. How about Adam Sandler? Look at the area. Jennifer Aniston is also on this list, and also, Yahoo liked the list. Adam Sandler has the most ridiculous pizza party with Jennifer Aniston and George Clooney. All big friends in that neighborhood. Paid $4.1 million for the home. Adam Sandler, Jennifer Aniston, Reese Witherspoon is on that same list as well. Lived in the same place. Here's her with Adam Sandler when he was being Satan, I think it was. Dr. Dre with multiple properties there. This is a very large concentration. We have Matt Damon who's trying to get rid of the property. I think a few of these properties were for sale. I wonder if his eye was itchy. Look where Chris Pratt's house was, and he was trying to sell it as well. What are the chances of all this? What'd Ali say? They have some extremely bad luck. Should we continue this list tomorrow? Let me know.
They genetically engineered the human being. Yes, we're all genetically engineered. We should say 23 different civilizations have impacted our DNA over the last 100 million years. We're going to have the first wave of ascension where a large number, maybe millions of human beings are going to move into the fifth dimension, essentially.
Is awakening available for all of us, or perhaps not?
It is, absolutely it is, but that doesn't mean everybody will awaken. In fact, getting back to the prophecy, 3/4 of humanity probably will not wake up during this cycle.
Is it me, or does that sound eerily close to the rapture? Let me know what you think.
See it? Daddy, we see them! Okay, there's the moon. What the fuck is this?
I don't even believe in free will.
Tell me more.
If you can control all the variables, you can control someone's behavior. If I wanted everyone in here to take all of their clothes off, I could guarantee you that I could do it. I would just raise the temperature of this room to a point, and we just stay in here until I lock the doors and I raise the temperature, and then eventually all of us would take our clothes off. And so if I can change the conditions to get a behavior, then did that person have free will? And so B.F. Skinner is one of the forefathers of this behavioral. He has this quote that I just love, and it'll be at the beginning of one of my books. But everyone says that you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. He said, false. He said, if I salted the horse's mouth and I dehydrated the horse for weeks, and then I put its mouth right in front of water, I can veritably guarantee that it will drink. When I think about like sales processes for that reason, is that there is a perfect sales process. There is a way that we can get it so that we can control all of the variables and every single person.
Hey, I never thought about free will in that manner, but that makes sense. See, this is the kind of information you definitely want to take on because it gives a spin to free will. You know, we do have free will to a point until it's not free will anymore, right? That's pretty wild.
Google says it has cracked a key challenge in quantum computing with a new chip capable of almost unfathomable speeds. The tech giant says it can perform a standard test in under 5 minutes, one that would take one of today's fastest supercomputers 10 septillion years. That's vastly longer than the universe has existed. Google says the results lend credence to theories that quantum computing taps into a multiverse of parallel universes. Dubbed Willow, the new chip has 105 so-called qubits, the building blocks of quantum machines. They are super fast, but also very error-prone, and can be upset by something as tiny as a passing subatomic particle. Now Google says it's found a way to make them more reliable, and says it can also correct errors in real time. That's a big step towards building a practical quantum computer. Google hopes such devices could one day deliver huge advances in fields like AI and medicine. In a blog post Monday, it said that, even under ideal conditions, it would take a regular computer 1 billion years to get the same results as Willow. The processors are being crafted at a new purpose-built facility in Santa Barbara, California. Rival firms have focused on building chips with more qubits, but Google says improving reliability is the key to delivering a workable system.
Stop calling them drones. Let me be very clear. This isn't conspiracy. This isn't craziness. They are not drones.
Look at it. Look at it on the camera. It's like a dome.
That's a UFO. They're not moving like drones. They're not acting like drones, and they cannot disperse them as if they were drones.
But the weird thing for me is that there's no flashing lights on it at all.
At the moment, I think all we can legitimately say is they're objects and they're unexplained.
The frequency of this stuff is increasing now. It's not that our technology gives us the ability to see it, it's definitely increasing.
If I told you that you're severely underestimating the power of music and the oligarchs take good advantage of that fact. Think about it. Music isn't just a form of entertainment. It's a weapon of the oligarchs, a tool, a means of control that's been wielded since the dawn of time. The music industry isn't merely a collection of artists and producers. It's a secret society with one agenda: to shape and control your behavior without you even realizing it. You may think, the people of the 60s had these kind of personalities, so that's why they liked a certain type of music. And
The people of the 70s thought like this, which is why they listened to another type of music. And the people of the 80s lived like this. That's why they preferred that style of music. No, my sweet summer child. It's the other way around. The oligarchs dictate what music gets played everywhere, and then the children and youth of the time dance to the tune of the oligarchs, all the way to their destruction. A person's entire personality can be shaped by the music they're hooked to. They lay out a timeline, decades, even centuries in advance, for every cultural shift, trend, and movement. From the rise of swing in the Roaring '20s to the rebellious rock of the '60s, and even the manufactured angst of the '90s grunge era, none of it was organic. Each shift was carefully designed to manipulate the collective consciousness, guiding society toward whatever mindset the oligarchs needed to further their agenda. They fund the artists, control the distribution, and ensure the right songs are the ones that dominate the airwaves. And yes, they've done this for every culture, every language. Music trends are engineered to match the mood the oligarchs want society to have, planned decades in advance. They popularized free love music, and the youth of that generation embraced it completely. They pushed a wave of gangster rap, and suddenly the youth were all emulating gang members. Now they push music with questionable ideas and thoughts on identity, and like clockwork, the kids start reflecting that same confusion. At the time, you may think you're just enjoying the music, but believe me when I say, one day it'll be your time to pay the piper. Speaking of the Pied Piper, what do you suppose that story was all about? Leave a comment if you'd like part 2. I'm gonna go ahead and say this is just a joke for entertainment purposes.
If you're a full-blown NPC, you're gonna say, oh, music is just music. But if you are living in this reality, you're gonna understand this music definitely does touch different parts of your spirituality. And if you care about your kids, if you have loved ones you cared about, I definitely would highly suggest you wouldn't have them listening to like trash, you know? Let's just say it what it is. It's just trash. I'm probably one of the biggest hip hop heads that you know what I'm saying? I could do a whole channel around hip hop. That's how much I love it. But in the all reality of it, if it's low frequency music, man, I really don't ingest it. I don't ingest it, you know what I mean? And for those reasons, you know, you feel different, your mentality shifts. If you're trying to be great in life, don't listen to low vibration music. Don't ingest it. And these are just facts.
Whatever Elon Musk is, he cannot be stopped, and you shouldn't want to stop him. Just prepare. Ask yourself what you're going to do. But what's done is done. And what is what is. And God is in control of all things.
It seems like he wants to communicate with aliens and touch.
What do you mean he wants to? What makes you think he doesn't already?
Man, say.
What makes you think it's aliens he talking about?
How far he was trying to reach. So, Jack, let me ask you: when you see Optimus, the Tesla robot that's going to help raise our kids, walk
you
around,
can do that if you want to.
yeah. Give me a take. Do you see robots like running our household?
Oh, absolutely. They already are. They're just not physically present. The question is when they decide to replace troops, human troops, with robots.
What's element 115?
Element 115 is a super heavy element. It's something that only just recently synthesized. We only made 4 atoms of it. The craft uses larger quantities of it, 223 gram little triangles of it. But it's a unique element. When it's exposed to radiation, it produces its own gravitational field, its own anti-gravitational field, and it's what's used to lift and propel the craft and create distortions around it. It's an amazing material, and it's certainly nothing that occurs here or naturally. And we ran all kinds of tests on it, everything from atomic absorption, X-ray fluorescence, and every kind of test you could possibly imagine, and bombarded it with radiation to see what effects it would have. They call that neutron activation, but it was a stable element, something we had never seen before.
And it can be weaponized, and that's kind of the issue here. If this story is all true, that can be weaponized.
Absolutely.
As he paddles his canoe through the dark, murky waters, an unexpected and unsettling sound fills the night air.
is that, guys? It's literally just like hovering in that spot. It's huge.
This California wildfire has quickly elevated to one of the worst things the US has ever seen. Right now they literally have bulldozers in the street moving all the vehicles because everyone who was in these vehicles got out their car and ran away on foot at about 800 acres. Houses, buildings, everywhere are just burning down. I'm gonna show you this in 1 minute and some other crazy stuff. And that minute is right now. Y'all, this is just completely insane. I feel so sad for all the people living here. On plain Earth right now, we have seen so much destructive events over the last few years than probably in the last 1,000 years. Again, a biblical parallel will be signs of fire, smoke, and vapor in the skies and on the earth below. Wow. And the amount of people that actually stayed in their homes blows my mind. There was a guy who took a picture of his back porch while it was going on. I didn't feel it's appropriate to show you that. And completely irrelevant, people reported these weird things in Beverly Hills last night. Completely unrelated. Remember the calendars? This right here is the stuff of nightmares.
You know what else is under the authority of the crown?
What?
Disney World in Orlando, Florida.
What does that mean? How?
Ron DeSantis was trying to take away their self-governing, because Disney has always been like a self-governing entity within Florida, so they don't pay the taxes that major businesses in Florida do. They started getting into politics. Disney was like, he's like, if you're going to get into politics, let's get into politics. But Ron DeSantis lost that battle because it came out that Disney's like, hey, why don't you just read this piece of paper that we have? Says we are under the Royal Family Clause, which basically means Disney World within Florida, the land is owned by the Royal Family of England.
How?
They did some sort of exchange.
They would have had to have like given the land to the crown, and now it's protected.
They basically said the U.S. cannot tax what is the royal families.
Why? Why do they own U.S. land? Get out of here! Come on!
What's the Florida version of the Boston Tea Party?
We go to Epcot and we just trash the UK part.
Yeah, we just like,
oh my gosh.
Dude, we're getting gassed the fuck.
All right, NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang just announced a personal AI supercomputer at CES 2025, and it's exactly what we need. Project Digits may look like a mini desktop PC, but this thing is insane. It comes with 128 gigabytes of RAM and can run almost any AI model locally. You know those massive AI models that take $50,000 worth of GPUs to run? This could do it for just $3,000. It uses NVIDIA's new GB10 Grace Blackwell superchip, delivering up to a petaflop of computing power. That means a single unit can run an AI model up to 200 billion parameters. Want even more power? You can link two together, and you can run models up to 405 billion parameters. It runs NVIDIA's entire AI software stack. You can do everything from training to fine-tuning right on your desk. I test AI models daily, and right now I'm spending a fortune on cloud computing. This changes everything. It releases in May for $3,000. I'm definitely getting one, probably two. They're also looking for a name for it, so put your suggestions in the comments.
Now, I'm definitely looking at this from a capitalistic vantage point, right? Crypto mining generates tens of thousands of dollars a month. And if this can compute the kind of data that they're talking about, I wonder what that means for mining exactly. So I might have to get my hands on some and figure it out, because guess what? An extra stream of income with that kind of computing power might change the game.
Did you know Squid Game's actually based on true events from the 80s? It's all based around the 1986 Brothers House incident in Korea, where an orphanage was essentially turned into the Squid Game. Founded in 1960, the Brothers House orphanage ran normally until 1986. A billionaire adopted all the kids and then bought the orphanage and locked them all in it, hiring workers that hid their face like this and forced these children in blue jumpsuits to play kids games. And if you're wondering, you didn't want to lose. The creator of Squid Game claims that it was not based on anything, but this is in the TV show where the guards sleep, and this is at the Brothers House where they kept the children. Also, these were the Squid Game guards, and these were the guards in the real life. Now, you can look this up for yourself. This is actually one of the worst human rights violations in history. But weirdly, around 2020, it was kind of scrubbed from the internet, with many people theorizing Netflix did this in order for the Squid Games to be posted as normal. This is until some survivors of the Brothers House started speaking up this year. They started realizing how awfully similar the Squid Games looks and plays just like the Brother House. Squid Games denies there's any influence or ties to this, but I want to know what your thoughts are because I think there is.
Introducing the Enron egg, the world's first micronuclear reactor for residential suburban use. This little device can power your entire home for up to 10 continuous years. It goes without saying, but when you put a nuclear reactor in your home, it's gotta be safe for the whole family. I've been living with an egg for a few months now, and let me just tell you that my little ones, they freaking love it, especially when what we save on the energy bill, we can spend on Christmas presents. Do your kids hate camping as much as mine? Well, let's just say they're gonna like it now. Because for the first time in history, you can bring the comfort of your living room out into the world. Playing the newest game from your favorite console under the stars is just a whole other experience. But here at Enron, we care about the intersection of technology and nature, which is why I'm proud to announce that Enron has teamed up with FEMA to provide nuclear eggs to rapid response teams all around the globe. All of this made possible by the Enron Mining Division, which has been sourcing the proprietary enronium ore, which I think you'll agree, has unlocked a new atomic age.
Hey, the world is changing so quickly. I'm bringing you the type of gems you're going to really need to accept and understand that, hey, things won't be the same in the next few years. So if you're ahead of the curve, you'll learn how to make it work for you for a fact.
NVIDIA just made a massive announcement. I don't think people realize how dramatically the world's about to change in the next half decade. It is 1:30 a.m., but I feel like it's my duty to share this with you. So Jensen Huang, dripped out, makes the case that AI development speed is about to skyrocket. He says that the ChatGPT moment for robotics is around the corner and that we're entering the agentic AI era, which represents a multi-trillion-dollar opportunity. And NVIDIA is powering this revolution. First, they unveiled the RTX Blackwell series, including the RTX 5090, the world's fastest GPU, which is twice the performance of the 4090. They also debuted a 72 GPU super chip with 1.4 exaflops of compute and 130 trillion transistors. And this is Project Digits, a $3,000 personal AI supercomputer, 1,000 times more powerful than the average laptop. Look, the info's in the caption. The point is this. There's a reason NVIDIA just became the world's most valuable company. They're selling the shovels. These are the chips that will revolutionize AI and usher us into the era of superintelligence, which some, like Kurzweil, believe is the defining moment of human history. Fully autonomous vehicles, humanoid robots, agents, AGI, this is all happening faster than you might think. I'm gonna do my best to keep you updated on this wild ride, so if you haven't already, follow, and if anybody has any energy drink contacts, probably use a sponsor. I'll see y'all soon.
Technology is at that point where you have to definitely get with it or get lost. It's not slowing down, it's only speeding up. Well, you guys, hey, that's another one in the books. I appreciate you guys for stopping by yet again and watching another one with me. If you haven't already, go ahead and smash that like button for me. Smash that subscribe button. If you haven't already, join the iTrack fam. And I will definitely catch you on the next one.